Because you have to be on call.
Okay, we'll call the meeting in order. In accordance with state statute, section 84-1412, the Open Meetings Act is posted on the north wall in the council chambers for public information. Join me in the pledge of allegiance, please. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Debbie, would you do roll call, please?
Stokely.
Here.
Penrose.
Here.
Swenson. Boozy.
Here.
Hugo.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Okay, the consent agenda. City appointed boards and commissions, we have none tonight. Fire and rescue departments, we have none. Approval of the minutes from the previous meeting. Treasurer's report. Kathy's out sick, so she'll give us a report on that.
Yeah, that should be coming.
Yeah.
Should be once she comes back.
She'll email it to everybody. Claims, everybody got a chance to look at those, and we have one add-on from Constellation for $4,957.67. Just need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion made by Tom, second by Gary. Cast your votes, please. Okay, public hearings, we have none. Bids, we have none. Current business, number one, discuss the purchase of a field groomer to be used on ball fields. I think Jason Smith's here for that.
Yes, you have all the information in your packet. I included the flyer and the proposal for Midwest Curve. And I mentioned to the council too, we had $15,000 budgeted this past year in the park board budget. And sir, the balance is up to you.
Okay. Do you want to read the
Please.
there? Okay. Any questions? Honestly, I'm here for questions. I appreciate Tom and Bruce getting the information out to everyone. Many discussions going back to last summer, last spring. Had many discussions with the park board prior to this as well. I guess for the record, just want to make sure that the city council is aware that this was done above board. This was not anything that was done without anybody's, with not anybody's knowledge. I would say that. When we first started talking about it, Bill Landholm, who's on the park board, he was all for this, did a demo last summer. If I recall, Chris Krackmeyer, myself, Mike Ozzie, Dave Wimmer came down. I thought Dave was going to drive off with it. He's like, this thing is awesome. So that's where the discussions went from there. At the end of the day, it's a lot of money. I understand that. But it's an investment in our fields and the safety of our kids. That's the big thing, ladies and gentlemen. In one weekend, we were able to, and I get when you drive by, you're not able to see, undulations and levels. We were able to do a lot of work in one weekend, 2.5 days. And they let us do it for free. So maybe we just do that every year. We just do a demo and we don't buy it. But it does come down to safety. And I would look at Bruce because he's a baseball man at heart. When your plate, home plate is that far below and you're sliding in, I mean, it becomes a safety issue, or second, or any base. So again, this is not. Is it a luxury item? Yeah. But I don't think it's a luxury item without purpose. Tom?
Is it affordable enough that you'll be able to use it on this field and all the fields down there for the kids? Or is it that hard to move around?
Bruce, do you want to answer that one?
It's basically for timber. That's what it's basically
For timberland?
Yes.
Okay.
There's 4 fields there. No, it's not. No.
You don't need it for your
Not right
dirt
now.
or your infield?
Not unless they.
Next year, we're gonna buy one of those for the other field.
We're just gonna demo it over there.
Yeah.
Bruce's will have a cab.
So this is just for the Timberman field?
Yes.
Which needs to work.
will be housed down there, so. And again, in the essence of time, so I'll move it along really quickly, and I guess if Chris Krackmeyer wants to say anything. Two things. One, again, appreciate the park board, allocating the money they did. To go on record, in my opinion, I think the city should own this. No, it's gonna be gifted to the city when we raise the money. But in my opinion, this isn't something the parents of these associations should have to pay for twice, because one, they have tax dollars they paid already for, and now we're gonna do a fundraiser. So that's what we're asking for, is please carry us for a couple months. We're gonna do a pretty decent sized fundraiser, and we'll pay the city back. So we're just asking for float us alone. The banker's asking the city to float us alone, but that's what we're asking for. This is not a long-term
What
loan.
percent can we charge?
But the gist of it
He has
is,
the collateral.
You two have the
Hey, we're on this side. Yeah.
this is outside the budget
Yeah.
that's currently established, so there has to be a budget amendment. So if you guys
Yeah.
want to,
Yeah.
it's obviously up to you how you want to do this. It's your call.
Yeah, I'd be totally fine with buying it.
I mean, do we actually, are we gonna need two at some point? Do we need one to do it? I mean,
No, we can,
Do you hand rake that, Bruce?
yeah. What do you think I look so?
I would, and again, I'm not an expert on the machine that's shown in front of you. Have no idea, but if it's taken care of, Bruce's 1972 lawnmower, this thing should last that long too. I mean, it should.
1990.
Okay, sorry.
Looks like it takes the place of about 6 people.
Yeah.
Well, it does.
Well, this machine does as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does.
So we do things in West Point, top notch. Just about everything we do here, and I'm proud of the fields down there and everything, and people kind of, boy, you guys got a nice complex. And the city park, we've had so many comments on that. And so, yeah. I know with the theater, we've had a lot of help there and doing top notch there, so I'm all for that.
Chris, did you want to say anything? I don't want to.
Nope, you pretty much said it.
I guess I would ask again, in the essence of time, any questions for me?
So the difference we're looking at is $21,373. We would carry that pending the fundraising amount that you guys come up with to offset that $21,000.
And we have that fundraiser scheduled, that'll happen. We will pay you back.
Because from my understanding, this is in inventory now. I mean, it's ready to be delivered. So I hope you have room for it in that building. That's my biggest concern.
Well,
They're going to clean it out after this.
Okay.
we'll talk to Bruce after that.
Oh, boy.
Sorry, the mayor, I apologize. We'll talk to the
No,
mayor.
it's just gross.
But anyway,
I'll make a motion.
I say we need a motion or what we need here?
Yeah.
yes.
Second.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, motion made by Rusty, seconded by Shay. All right.
Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, guys.
So the motion was
Thanks very much.
to
Purchase the equipment.
purchase
And
the
carry them.
amend the budget according to the 21,373 that we're going to carry forward.
Yeah.
However long.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Okay, item 2, review the main contract agreement.
This is a result of about 3 years that Maine has been working on the service schedule item contract. I think I'm going to send it out to all of you. Kind of a quick recap. Nothing is changing as far as our existing generation capacity, how we're paid for that capacity. So that's a couple of keys that were incorporated into the service schedule item. one of the biggest changes in the service schedule now is a schedule as to, in the future, if the city of West Point chooses to get away from me, they have the ability to do that. There's a structure in place to do that. Long-term, all of the contracts, as you know, have been long-term contracts, because that's where we get the best rate for our service schedule power through me. And this is going out to all the memberships. And basically what it's doing, I think we talked about this early on, is we're updating a 4-year-old agreement. So the development of regional transmission organizations have come into place since that initial agreement, energy markets, and we've gotten a little more diverse with power generation is, with green energy, wind turbines, solar, all those things are all included as part of the agreement now. So that's the ordinance you have in front of you.
Now, will you explain for people that don't understand the agreement that we're in now, how it's an open-ended, non-ending, and what it would, the question we get asked all the time is, right, like,
How do we get
how do we get out of this? So explain, as we know, you told us.
Out of your current agreement?
Correct, the cost that takes, the years that takes, if we were to say, call me tomorrow and say, hey, we're gonna be done. Explain what that looks like now in our current contract.
Well, that's the thing that's not really totally
Right.
formalized. And basically, the discussion has been based upon the bonds. When the bonds expire, then you can get out of the contract. Well, the bonds have a way of perpetuating themselves
Right.
as you buy into future power agreements. That's where the challenge is. Now, what they've put into place is that you have the ability to do that with a 5-year window where you can jump on and say, look, in 5 years, we want to initiate getting out of Maine. So then what happens is you're locked into those contracts that are there now. And then that process runs out, and that's roughly, what do we say, a 30-year agreement, if I remember right? When we talked about the timing of it. That's the option you don't have now.
Right.
The other
We have
thing
to buy
is,
some bonds
right,
that we're currently.
if we try to buy out what's there now, along with decommissioning charges, you're looking at anywhere from 20 to 25 million total. That's just in very broad scope numbers. Now, obviously, those numbers would be refined if you got onto that bandwidth of where you wanted to get out of me in the future. Then those numbers would be refined. They would be scheduled over that period of time. By the end of that 25 to 30-year period, you'd be buying yourself.
So people understand that's basically our entire city budget.
Yeah, at least once or twice.
Yeah.
But, when we look at the cost competitiveness of Mean, they're still in there. I mean, we're not the cheapest, but we're not the highest either. But we're pretty competitive. We're still looking at being carbon neutral by 2050. All those plans are in place. When we walk through the generation aspect of it, we have capacity compensation right now for our units that are there. That's just about $100,000 a year for me. When we look at these other 3 units that we're looking at, if we go that additional 6 megawatts, that will be at least at that amount, but we're predicting more because we're going to go back to the negotiating table and talk about that based upon the ability for them to call those units when they need them. And they're high-speed units, they're quick start units. So with the green energy coming more and more into play with solar and wind, when the solar and wind goes away, you can't ramp up a coal-fired plant. So that's when these units are going to become a little bit more critical. And essentially what happens, in my mind, is that once you put this together with me and the capacity compensation for me, that's going to help offset your cost of your units that you're putting in.
But that's not in this contract right here.
That is.
Oh, you just said that you're predicting that it'll
No, I'm sorry.
in the future.
In the
In the new contract, yes.
The one that we're have in front of us.
Yes. Now, you're currently getting least compensation for the base load units that are there now.
Right,
And that's going to carry over into this new agreement also.
right.
The thing is, the other part that has yet to be negotiated is that when we go back and we look at generation, that's gonna be a whole nother discussion as far as what capacity compensation is gonna look like based upon the green energy requirements.
Well, that's what I mean, we don't know, like, really how much we'd get back once these units are online, or once these new units are online, we don't.
Not any more than what you have right now. That's when we went to the power pool to look at the additional generation, we would come on at the same capacity rate that we're making now with our base load units. There are those of us that think that that capacity compensation is too low based upon demand. That's what's going to open up that door for negotiations.
Is there a way to get ahead of that, negotiating with them as a play into getting into a new contract? Say, hey, we're willing to, look at getting into this new contract with you guys, but we're looking at wanting
Right.
maybe and see when it comes to compensation for,
Not
we're doing that in our
Because the
infrastructure.
service scheduling contract covers communities that don't have generation capacity. That's going to be that's why that's a separate ticket for us. Not all 70 communities that are in need have generation capacity.
Right.
We're one of the fortunate ones that do.
So, starting in April or May or whenever, we'd still get the $100,000 a year.
None of that changes.
That's what I'm saying. So that's the
Right.
same, which is, you're saying is $100,000 a year.
Yeah, it's just ballpark.
Sure. And then somewhere currently, let's just say nothing changes and you never go back to the negotiating table, we add these 3 units, it's still gonna be $100,000 a year,
No. It's going to be,
150.
it's probably going to be closer to 200 because we have a little over.
But then you wanna renegotiate even make it more than that.
Yes, we have a little over 4 megawatts there now. If we put 4 megawatts in and we get 100,000, it's going to go to 200,000.
Okay, that's just,
But yes,
yes.
yeah. Well, we're going to be able to negotiate, I mean, we are going to negotiate that.
Sure, just
That
if
will-
it never
yes,
happens, and
yes.
they all say no, then, I mean, negotiations fail all the time, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I wondered if we had any leverage up front.
Not from that perspective, you don't.
Not until you have the units.
Pardon me?
Not until the units are actually.
Well, you really, it's a separate contract to the service schedule M agreement.
Okay.
It's one of the benefits that we have under the service schedule M agreement as West Point does.
Since we're generating.
Yes, since we do have units in place.
Okay.
In other words, what the service schedule M will continue with the current obligations and contracts that we have out there today.
So, there's just, if we say yes today, I mean, or tomorrow or whenever, there's no difference in what we're in right now between today and April 5th.
The main difference is the contract language, that you have here on page 4 for termination.
That's not in our current 40-year-old.
Right, that's on your current 40.
No, I'm just saying that if it happened today, or if it happened if we voted yes today, or we voted yes in April, nothing changes with this. I mean, there's nothing that's
Other than the
holding us to doing
termination.
this today.
You're just extending it a month.
Right.
Nothing at all changes.
After 30 years, what's, another month?
I mean, that's,
After 40 years, what's another month? I guess.
based on the premise you're just dragging it out, that's your call, from my perspective. You're not gonna change the contract, you're not gonna change the agreement.
Sure.
Why drag it out for 3 months or 2 months?
I just don't want.
I'm just asking.
My general thoughts on it, I guess, are I think it's what we've all discussed is something that's giving us an out, which people want an out. I think that's good. It's updating 40-year-old language. My biggest concern with it is that it's just the way that it looks publicly of this. Let's just say this agenda comes out on Friday, which it does. And all it says is review mean modernized SSM agreement. I don't know what that means. Maybe if I'm reading it, and then all of a sudden it's, I have 3 days to read it, and you can't even, nobody can even look into it. Not, I'm not saying me, I've seen it beforehand, I'm saying people, the public of West Point. It may be good that if other people have questions about it, that we already don't just vote yes on something that's been a very hot button issue in this community for years, which is power.
Right, it's always a hot button issue. Even when we were the lowest, it was still a hot button issue. But the point, to your point, I understand your point.
Sure.
But you're also giving somebody the false sense that they're gonna change the agreement.
No, I'm giving people opportunity to ask questions.
Okay? I mean, they've always got that opportunity. That's always out there.
But they might not if it's Friday at 5 over a weekend, Tuesday at 11.
So, I mean,
That's my only opinion on
that's your call. Like I said, I don't see an advantage to dragging it out, but that's your,
it. What's the disadvantage though?
from workload perspective, I can go on to something else.
Well, I mean, backspacing a date and retacking it to a date a month later, I don't think it's that much of a work.
Okay. I mean, you've had this for.
I didn't say about me. I didn't say
Yeah,
about
I
me.
know. But I mean, all of you have had this for well over a week. You know, we shared it with the committee, and then once the committee left, it went out there right away, so.
I'm fine with the agreement. I'm saying that as a general, from a public perception standpoint. I just don't want it to be one of those things where it's like, they're reading the paper next week and they're like, oh my gosh, you guys did what to me? And we're like, well, this what we should do, and it's actually a better agreement. All of a sudden they're like, well, that's ridiculous and blah blah blah. Or they could just read the paper that we tabled it for a month and they could ask their questions, and then I say it's a better agreement.
That's perfectly fine.
I realize that.
No, I understand what you're saying from that perspective. I'm perfectly fine with the agreement. I think it has a ton of benefits.
Yeah.
I think lesser of two evils, right? If you want to call it that. It was an agreement that was put in place 50 years ago or whatever, not by any of us in this room,
Right.
with no ending in sight or whatever we wanted to do.
Yep.
This gives us a little bit of leverage. So it has some updated language too throughout the contract, outside of just the exits.
Right, this is by far a better agreement than we have.
Yeah, and I believe Damien reviewed this and
Yes.
gave his rubber stamp and
I agree that it's better. I just don't know what the difference a month makes. Once again, we're talking about 70 years here.
no, I careless either way on that either. I
But that's
understand
my
what you're
thing.
saying.
So
Yeah.
you can do whatever you want.
Okay, how do we want to run with this? Debbie, you want to read the ordinance?
City of West Point, Nebraska, ordinance number 1445, an ordinance authorizing and directing execution of amended and restated total power requirements power purchase agreement by the City of West Point, Nebraska with the Municipal Energy Agency of Nebraska to acknowledge and provide for limitations on use of the electricity, to prescribe the time when this ordinance shall be in full force and effect, and providing for the publication of this ordinance in pamphlet form.
Okay, do I have a motion to introduce and suspend the 3 readings?
Make the motion.
Do I have a second? Okay,
You see a motion for the first reading?
yep, we need a motion for the first reading.
Make the motion.
Motion made by Mark,
So this is then we can read it for 3 more months. Is that what this is? 3 more meetings?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
Mark made the motion.
Yeah.
You second?
Well, I second that motion. Yeah.
Okay, cast your vote, please. Okay. Item 3, discuss the appraisal and potential purchase of real estate.
You have I put a drawing in your packet. This was the question I asked Logan Lake some time ago when they were doing a lot split for that piece of property. if they'd be interested in selling it as a potential to be an addition to Mount Hope Cemetery, because of its proximity. Essentially, what it is right now, I talked to Maria Janata again today. She's also involved in this a little bit, and the current owners purchased this in 2022 for $100,000, the 8.6 acres. Obviously, if we pursue it, we have to have it appraised. But there's no guarantee that once we get it appraised, that they're gonna accept that appraisal.
Is that I'm not quite familiar with that, is that a farmable tract, or what is that?
Oh, what?
Is that a farmable tract?
Well, not really, yeah.
It's their sand.
Yeah. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, Shay.
I think
mean,
that's the best spot that we can probably
Yeah.
have. I mean,
Yeah.
You
You
know,
say buy it tomorrow?
yeah, I mean, truly, it's like,
the downside of it is that antenna,
yeah,
the tall antenna, the tower's right there in that corner,
right.
which is aesthetically
Yeah,
not
not as pleasing.
right. But, you know, we all know the condition of Mount Hope and how full it is, and,
That company that owns that antenna, they own that ground right in that breakout right there.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we know if is there any high power lines or anything underneath there that would have to be moved or that we would be responsible for?
As far as I know, it's vacant, it's an empty lot, there's nothing on it.
Is any of the stuff going to the antenna would come from the road or?
Yeah.
Out along
Mhm.
there. And they have a box out there too.
That's right.
Yeah.
That north end is a little low down there. I don't know.
Well, Mount Hope's got a lot of undulation. Can't get any worse than that.
What about the mausoleum?
Hilliest cemetery in the entire country, so,
Jay, how many plots can you get on 8.6 acres?
they have companies that do that.
Okay.
Yeah, they do.
I'm just trying to think of the ROI on this,
Yeah. Zero.
because I'm sure do you not make money?
They do not.
It's a very long-term investment.
Yeah. 0% ROI.
Community investment,
It is.
Yes,
community.
yes.
like a scraper for the kids.
So, you know, I guess,
Yeah, absolutely.
So Tom, they are interested, I mean, they are interested in selling that.
they're interested if they can make enough money on it,
Right.
is basically
Sure.
the gist of it. And, you know, obviously we can't do anything until it's appraised.
Right.
So, I mean, at this point, it's like $11,628 an acre.
I'm getting pretty
It's
good
pretty
money for crap land.
I know.
Well, that's just it. It's not conducive to much anything else.
No.
So,
Did the current owners buy it, do they have property adjacent to it or anything, or is it just an investment to them?
I think somehow they're linked to the Guest family. That's my guess.
Just seems interesting to buy that plot of land for that, for no reason really,
Investments.
There you go.
So you gotta think tax shelter to lose money somewhere, huh?
Yeah.
Did we approve something up there for a development? Is that,
No, we approved the lot split. Isn't that what it was?
Yeah, well, that's the last split. That's what we're showing here.
Yeah, it's WLN Investments.
Yeah.
Who owns it?
You look at your parcel there.
No, I looked at Onyx Farm. Yeah. Yeah.
So we just need to try to make a motion to approve an appraisal.
Yeah, if you want to pursue it. You know, if you want to look at for another alternative, we can do that too.
I mean,
There's
you think you
no-
can,
yeah.
I mean, that's,
I think if, from a land perspective, you're gonna be paying more money.
if we go anywhere else.
So, yeah, for going across, just because of
Yeah.
the value of the ground. Yeah. Unless we take it from the park.
I'll let you take that one.
No, somebody approached me the other day, I was like,
Brian Penrose wants to.
yeah.
What's the trouble with parking?
Glad the paper and the radio are here today. Take the fairgrounds or something.
I'll make a motion.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Motion made by Rusty.
To proceed with an appraisal?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Second.
Seconded by Shay. Cast your votes, please. Okay. Item 4, special designated liquor licenses. First one, Fraternal Order of the Eagles, West Point, for a fish fry on March 29, 2024 at the Nielsen Center. Second one is Native 32 Winery LLC for a fundraiser on April 12, 2024 at the GA Cafeteria. Make a motion to approve both of these.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Shay, seconded by Rusty. Okay. Approval of council, number 5, approval of council affiliated claims, Hugo Plumbing and Heating for services and supplies.
Do we do them separately?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion made by Shay, seconded by Rusty.
It's pretty good.
Terry, you can vote.
Jerry, get your thing on.
Pretty quiet about mentioning how high. Seeing as
Good jokes to crack, yeah.
Second one, Thomas.
Oh.
Swenson advertising.
Jerry.
Promotional items.
Anything to say?
Chance, Jerry.
Too hot?
Huh?
What? Oh, what?
Want to go ahead and explain to everyone?
No,
I'll make the
we're on the
motion.
second one.
No, Jerry.
I'm in a slow mood tonight.
I'll second that.
Okay, who was it? Rusty?
Rusty.
Seconded by Ryan. Cast your votes. Okay, we got one resolution. Resolution number 2024-4 to approve application payment number 17, amount of $51,997.19 to Christensen Construction Company for the West Point Aquatic Center.
Make the motion.
Motion made by Mark,
Second.
seconded by Ryan. Cast your votes, please. Okay. Reports, they poured a lot of pave, or concrete down the pool this week.
It looks
They got it
really good.
We're good. Framed up, I think they're gonna do some tomorrow.
When do we do it? When do the punch list go out? Maybe April something?
I think it's April 15th around there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
April 15th.
but yeah, they've been working down there.
Oh, yeah.
Inside and out,
It's,
so.
I can't wait for this thing to open. It's-
Yeah.
I mean, other than the
First
kids.
one on the water slide, all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Even before they put.
I can't afford the membership.
Yeah.
I had to throw
We
it.
did, we were, we
Yeah,
met,
that's the park board.
we met with those signs, was that last week, week before?
Yeah. We're starting to work on the signage for that, so
Yeah,
Thanks.
it's all coming
getting
together.
close to the end.
That's all I got.
Not that it, I guess I'll wait.
No.
On the pool, not that it matters, it's just, did anything ever happen with when they came in? I thought once they were going to maybe agree or not agree to whatever we said that our agreement was.
Yeah, that's all done.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, once he agreed to it here, it's a done deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got the,
Well, that's fine. Just-
yeah, no, that's, yeah, good question.
Okay.
But yeah, we've got signed documents.
Okay, that's good. No, no, I was
I
just,
got
yeah.
Tom first.
The levy, we're talking with Michael Bash today with JEO. They're talking about getting the plans out in April, and we're actually they're thinking a June start. They're blocking out the fair time, so that's not gonna be an issue. With basically it wrapping up in September of 2025 with the seeding and stuff. So Bruce and I have been talking about different landowners that we've been, working on properties and stuff, so I think we've been in contact with just about everyone. So we've got all that in the works. We're gonna try to get that wrapped up by the end of the month.
Everyone positive?
We'll see.
Okay.
We got a couple challenges,
Yeah.
but, we're gonna have to really push hard
Okay.
to get it going now, so.
Okay.
That's the big ticket item. March 16th, they're talking about restocking the pond, the Ely Park Lake with trout, so they'll be down there doing that. and Fishing will start again. So, that's all I got.
Rusty?
I'd like to thank whoever graded my road. He did a great job, and I have this special rock I've been putting in the base of my driveway, so I don't, between my driveway and the road, he goes around it. But one question, I had a few neighbors complain to me that he doesn't go up their road.
To the west?
He goes around the corner, didn't go up.
Yeah, we didn't go to the west because he put that treatment on there and we were told. to stay
Yeah,
off
well,
of it.
after winter, you can do it once.
I mean, I didn't know if, yeah, I was gonna check.
You know, like, because our road was bad, just in the winter and everything else, it did a great job, but,
I thought Glenn was gonna talk to him.
Yeah, I thought it was too, I'll find out on
yeah.
that.
So just, that's all it was.
Okay. Yeah, because he asked me and I told him to stay away from it.
No, and my neighbor had said that he had told him that originally, but
Okay.
he did that after winter or whatever, but anyway, did a great job, looks great.
Should just pay him.
Apparently, they're getting together.
You're working on a paving district
I know.
now in your neighborhood.
I know.
Jerry?
No,
Mark?
I told you about that. Up there east of the high school at Storm Drain.
The storm drain, okay, yeah, we gotta look into that. Yeah, there's a storm drain in the settlement up there.
And that's it.
Tom?
Have we given any more thought to a street that we might want to do and get it lined up and?
We're talking about doing Old Creamery Road, is what we were talking about doing. I've been in contact too with, Wimmer up there. They're not happy with the elevations, so we're gonna take a look at that, because of drainage issues. So we may end up cutting that down a little bit, but that was gonna be one of our targets, was something like Old Creamery Road. Gets a fair amount of traffic, and that might be a good candidate for that trial.
Have we found anyone yet?
I don't know if Glenn is I don't know if he's heard back from him yet. I know he's working with Chris Hauser,
Yeah.
because they were gonna bring somebody in. I'll check up.
Do you know of anybody, Tom, that does that? Tom Swanson?
We,
No, we went over to Oakland and visited with the guy over there.
What did they say?
Well, they've got a 5-year program over there. They've got a lot of streets that they do over
Have
there.
they been doing it, did they do it last year?
Yeah. The Park Road, if you've been through there lately, they did that last July,
Hmm.
or a year ago July, I guess.
I'm gonna say, I didn't think they did anything last year.
Who does
It
that
was
work?
a year ago July.
Who does Oakland's work?
I can't remember the name of the guy.
We couldn't get a hold of them or what?
Well, the one contractor is, the
He got-
contractor that did it last isn't doing it anymore,
Yeah.
you know.
Hmm.
So then we started chasing this other one, and we couldn't get them to respond, so Glenn got hooked up with Chris Hauser. Is how it, because the county does the same thing when they do their,
Blacktop repavement.
yeah, it's not, you know, when they put down the gravel and stuff. they put
Chip
down-
seal?
Yes, thank you.
Chip seal.
Chip seal. It's the same principle.
But they have a lot of streets over in Oakland, I mean, that they do. They have a 5-year rotation that they,
Yeah, I'm wondering, because if the people that do Oakland's are out of business and they haven't done it in a year, just maybe there's a reason for that. Just wondering, not out of business, I shouldn't say that, they're not doing it anymore. Actively doing it, that's why I was just curious. And if we do this whole paving thing down here, just throwing that out, I mean, there's not too many gravel roads left, so, my gosh.
Mill Road.
Mill Road, that is one, Jerry, you're right.
That gets used.
Yeah.
That does.
Anything else? Tom?
Nope.
Right? I think so. Okay, I'm good. Okay, one thing, remember tomorrow night's the volunteer dinner.
make a motion we adjourn.
I'm not that talking.
Bruce had a whole list of
Hey, man, you understand.
All right. Tom made a motion to adjourn. Right, Leslie's right. Same one.
Brian, you're supposed to want to draw this stuff tonight, usually it's you.